I'm Natalia Pozeulo Arbide, and I am a YAR with Every Life Foundation. And my connection with the rare disease community is I'm a patient with a lysosomal storage disease. The leadership role that I selected for my capstone was either an intern or assistant to a member of Congress. I selected this role because I have a huge passion for rare disease advocacy, especially how anyone with a rare disease is impacted by disability and healthcare legislation. So I found it to be very exciting and interesting in how those members in the legislation help put into practice policies and regulations that protect patients, caregivers, and medical professionals supporting the rare disease community. I decided to apply to the YAR Leadership Academy because I found it to be the perfect next step in my advocacy journey. As a YAR member, I found that this was the next perfect opportunity for me to not only learn about the different advocacy steps that a rare disease advocate takes, but also how to strengthen my own story and how to use my story in advocating not just for my own rare disease, but everybody else who's touched by a rare disease. And I found it just to be complementing everything that I've done in my studies, internships. And so it was just the best of both worlds and being able to have this opportunity with the speakers and the readings and teachings and all of that to prepare me on my furthering my advocacy journey. What other young adults should consider the YAR Academy to be a special opportunity is that the flexibility in that obviously it's providing you being able to be remote, but also if you're in school, if you're not in school, if you're working, if you're not working. So you're able to balance that. But then also, it's really an opportunity in which you are given the chance to understand federal legislation advocacy journeys in that you may have otherwise not have been exposed to at all. So you're really getting insider professional speakers and also personal advocates. So I don't think I've ever encountered any other place program that has ever exposed me to this wealth of knowledge. And I've been involved in a lot of patient advocacy events. And so I've never seen anything like it before. And they're also catering it for you. So it's all about your journey and how they can, the YAR's Leadership Academy is how we can best mold your voice and your story in helping others. So sometimes, we have so much going on in our own rare disease that it's like, where do you start? What do I do? How I have all this wealth, I have this experience, I have these stories, I want to put it to use, and you don't know where to start. Um, Maybe I like the business side of things, maybe I like the science side of things, maybe I like technology side of things, maybe I like teaching, or I also like just social work. So whatever, professional area you like as well, they help you find what best avenue you can use your rare disease journey into your professional field as well. So I think that's truly incredible. And again, their Leadership Academy is driven and molded for the YARs. And they're with you at every step of the way. And the connections that you make is just incredible. What's next for me and for my current advocacy journey and goals, I would say, is learning how to express my rare disease journey, but also how I can use my journey in educating state legislators on the policies that we need to keep in place and also put more in place to protect young adults and those now surviving with rare disease. We are surviving longer. Doesn't mean that all of us get the cure, but that means that we do deserve quality of life, and that means being able to access treatments like physical therapy or even having the continuation of clinical trials be performed. So while gene therapy is great for the future generations, let's focus also on the current generations that are still dealing with the rare disease, supporting the caregivers, supporting the medical professionals, and making sure that we can support them. Unfortunately, rare disease requires an array of weekly specialist appointments. And so, how can we make that offload for the patient and the caregiver? How can we make that as seamless as possible? And as they go into their young adult, how can we still make sure they have access to work and education, but also just knowing how I can use my story. I have so many different, like all rare disease patients, I have many, many different pieces and parts that I've seen it all, I've experienced it all, I know it all. So just knowing how I can put that into practice, I'd like to speak, I'd like to share that with others, with our legislators, especially because they're the ones that are at the forefront of putting those policies into place. So making them understand and educating them on why we need to keep the current policies in place, and also making sure we put more and making sure that those accommodations allow people with rare diseases to thrive.